Mehar, I wanted to start a bit from a background from the beginning, and I want you to introduce yourself this time. So, how now, after doing master practice, how do you see yourself? How would you like to be called? How would you like to say to the world that who is Mehar? So, start from that, and then go through how the practitioner and the master practitioner journey happened, and also do share your breakthrough moments during that journey.
All right, Ali. So there's a lot packed in that question, but thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm a teacher by profession, but there's a story behind that journey as well. If you pick up my CV, my curriculum vitae, my career path has also might appear on the surface to have been a bit eclectic, because I've worked in the software industry, IT industry, I've worked in the government sector, I've worked in the hospitality sector, and then I shifted to the education sector. But it's not so, it's not the case. What really emerges from that pattern is that all of the roles that I took, they were all connected to communication. That was always been my forte, always been my strong point, and I've always had a fascination with words since as long as I can remember. And secondly, they were all related with people skills, dealing with people, interpersonal relations. So these two combined, I think this is where NLP was just a natural choice for me. Being a teacher, being an aspiring public speaker, of course, alhamdulillah, now I've achieved a certain station in that realm through practice and through help of mentors and friends, colleagues, well-wishers. And then, of course, the professional journey, all of that built up slowly over time, the skills that I needed. So NLP was something that when I found RSIN's ad on Instagram, and there was this lovely picture of Rabab where she had a very empowering image and a very empowering body language. I love the fact that here was, for one thing, a woman leader, a very empowered leader, and running her own business and running her own institute, and doing something that was giving benefit to others in the world. So I reached out. And then, of course, Ali, we all have ups and downs, challenges in life. I mean, every life is supposed to be like that, right? Because that's how we grow. So having tried several different methods and techniques to understand myself and the human mind, and also to be able to understand my audience, which were my students, my colleagues, my supervisors, and also my audience, my public speaking audience, I decided to give NLP a try, and not just a try, but I was very intrigued because of the testimonials I had read from colleagues on LinkedIn and other social media. And then when I called Rabab, she was just so welcoming and encouraging. We hit it off immediately. I didn't know that she was, in fact, my neighbor as well. She lives in a neighboring community. And so it was all just very logistically very easy for me, because the classes were online. And also I felt very easy to talk to Rabab, and also the fact that I could maybe, just hop over to her office any day if I wanted to have a chat or catch up on knowledge, or, get an update on this technology. So that's how the journey started. But oh my goodness, I was not ready for the results. I was just, I had no idea what it would be, but I was ready to try. I've always been the kind of person who's been curious. And I think everyone is born that way. Every child, as I see as a teacher, every child is born with a natural curiosity. And Ken Robinson, the famous, late famous professor and educationist, he has put this forward that maybe it's schools who school us out of curiosity. So as an educator, I really want to address that notion, and I want to encourage curiosity in children, in students, in human beings in general. And NLP did just that. It's like you mentioned at the practitioner level as well. NLP is about asking the right questions. And frankly, that's what a teacher is supposed to do. We are supposed to be facilitators. If we go into the history of education, when we look at the Socratic method, it was basically the instructor or the teacher asking a series of questions from the student to elicit knowledge from the student, and not just knowledge, but to build thinking skills and capabilities in the student. It was not about instruction and rote learning, and not that. It was about building capacity. and the answers are always within. So I love that aspect, that okay, it's about thinking critically and then being able to have a conversation with another person by knowing what words to use and what level of abstraction to use. So we either use Milton level language or meta level language to try to help our audience understand. It's all about gaining understanding of the environment of ourselves. Now, in associate practitioners, I'm very clear about this. It was day two. I mean, what blows my mind is that in a series of 3 days, there was such a massive transformation. I have not felt that with anything else before. Like I have met with counselors, I have met with herbal practitioners, I have met with spiritual practitioners, and all of them, mashallah, they all have their own place and all have this effect. But with NLP, what struck me was the power of the transformation and the instancy of the transformation. I mean, that combination is just very explosive. It's like, again, what you said, turning decades into days. And I knew exactly what you were talking about because I felt that, I experienced that. And day two, so coming back to day two, what happened then was where we were introduced for the very first time to the concept of cause and effect. And I've mentioned this before in talking to you as well. That was just a complete game changer because we are told, but it wasn't exactly, just telling us that. It was the way Rabab spoke to us. Because being a practitioner, she somehow coached it into us. Like it actually hit home. Like the way she was talking, the linguistics she was using, it actually sank in. And it's like how people say that we cannot change others, so it's better to change ourselves. Like yesterday, I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I want to change myself. We hear these quotes, we read them in books, we are told by teachers, colleagues, well-wishers, right? Just forget about the incident, just change yourself, just change the situation. Okay, we know that, but how? It's not happening. We're making the effort. How? But that just the way she explained it, it actually sank in. It was like she just bypassed some kind of barrier in the mind and it just hit home. And it was so clear that yes, in fact, the belief set in that's what really counts. So we can listen to statements, but unless we actually believe in them, unless they actually cause a metamorphosis or they metabolize within us, they're not going to catalyze a change outside.
Brilliantly said.
And right. And so when she mentioned that, okay, we have to try and remain at cause, meaning that we are responsible for our emotions as well. Maybe someone said something, maybe something didn't go as planned, maybe a project didn't go as planned. It so-called failed, as they say in the real world. But in NLP, we say it's feedback. There's no failure, there's only feedback. But we always maintain an empowered state. And so just becoming aware of that am I being at cause or am I being effect? Am I just letting life happen to me passively or am I playing an active role in it? Am I actually taking the action, the mental action or the physical action to actually mold uh, my lifestyle or actually mold the change that I need around me? That was very empowering. That was very empowering. Over the course of this year, I actually managed to complete my duties as the president of a Toastmasters club, which was newly chartered. So I was the chartered president, and I tried to utilize the concept of being at cause to tackle every challenge that came in my way. But Alhamdulillah, I will like to thank, of course, my Lord as well, who helped me. And I really believe that when we make the decision, we make the intention, then as the poet Tara Moore says, allies and energies, they come swirling around you like fireflies. So take the step, at least make the intention. And Alhamdulillah, I also managed to deliver a speech that was accepted at the international level. as the top speech from provisional districts in the Toastmasters fraternity, and it won the international video speech contest. And I wrote this speech very like at around the same time that I was taking the NLP course, a little bit afterwards.
Very well said. So I want you now to, like now the decision for master practitioner happened. How was that decision? How did you decided that? What was your expectation and what exactly happened? If you can touch that on in detail, and how was that journey?
Right. So I had made a mental note that when I get the time, and once my responsibilities are to the side, I will enroll in the practitioner's level definitely. And I was waiting for that opportunity. And Alhamdulillah, God gave me the opportunity once again to enroll with RSIN, go through the practitioner's level training, which was again awesome. It was another level of awesome. And I'm so glad. I'm so happy with myself for making that come about. And so grateful to Rabab and Ali. Honestly, the commitment that you guys put into the training, into the notes, into selecting which interventions you're going to teach us, and then the way you convey it in simple language in a way that we will understand with real life examples, relatable examples. It's just a joy to be in the class, really. And it's so much fun and it's friendly. And the cohort is always the people who come in. I don't know how you manage to find, just attract the best people ever. And then we get to network with them in every batch that I've been in, even in the revision batches. Like the people are just amazing. And that's just such a big takeaway. It's like your net worth is your network. That just really works automatically with RSIN somehow. So, mashallah, hats off to you guys for that. In the practitioner's level, I was really looking forward to the timeline therapy because Rabab had told us that about that in the associate practitioner. Of course, the switch pattern worked wonderfully to erase initial anxiety, or to just think about anxiety. To reframing worked very nicely. To think about anxiety as excitement, before a roller coaster ride. That really worked for me before I actually delivered my speech. Thank you for that, Ali. And so once we actually got to the timeline therapy, I was ready for it. I was like, okay, I just have to do this because I know this is exactly what I need. And this is where I'm going to make my breakthrough. This is where I need to make my breakthrough. And I do confess, I was very nervous before we did the first intervention. And I messaged Rabab in the break, just before she was going to conduct it on me. I said, it's very deep rooted, the trauma that I've experienced. Of course, being a very private person, I don't like to, of course, we should always talk positively, but it's part of life. So I did share this with her. I was like, I hope, I was afraid of taking maybe hours and hours, or maybe having a breakdown or something. And but she was so confident and so encouraging. Her confidence, as they say, perception is projection. Her confidence really rubbed off on me, and I was ready to go. I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. I mean, finally. And Ali, this was an emotional event or a trauma that had been causing pain for the last, you can say, almost 2 decades. So this was very, very meaningful, very important to me, very significant. And it had something that had been like, building over time, like a scab, like exactly like you guys said, that we distract ourselves by becoming busy or becoming occupied. But unless we actually go into the wound and heal it and clean it out, it's going to fester. So it was very, very important to address that problem. And I cannot believe this. I mean, something that for which I had tried several other interventions over the years, which was causing me physical pain as well. It was both emotional and physical pain. They were both interlinked. I mean, she was done with it within, 30 minutes? And you guys have the recording, 20, 30 minutes. And I think what really worked there was that she took me to the root cause. And it was the first time that I was experiencing this kind of an intervention where I was using my own imagination to tap into my own unconscious. And I myself surprised myself because I was like, I have no idea what answer I'm going to give. but I just followed the instructions. I trusted the process. I trusted my coach because my coach had built a very good rapport with me. So I trusted her. And as I sat there with my eyes closed, visualizing that the root cause, the root event, her voice was like this, encouraging anchor. It was like this supportive anchor that made me feel safe. And when I opened my eyes, by the time she was done, I mean, I can't tell you. I've been through a lot in life, but none of those events have that emotion in them anymore. The emotion is now functional. It's not overwhelming. That trauma has disappeared. I mean, I can't tell you, but it's it's life changing. It's a game changer. And I mean, my family can see the difference. My colleagues can see the difference. I'm performing better at work. I'm happier with myself. I'm calmer. I'm less tense and less anxious. And I really, I mean, I'm a believer now. I am a believer. And I think that was the turning point, which really, that was it. That was okay. I need to know more about this. I definitely need to know more about this. So that decision had been made that I have to get to the next level. I have to study about this at the master's practitioner level. The only question was when and how. But thanks to Ali, who gave me that slight nudge, and he said, you're on a roll. You've got your momentum, so just keep going with it. Run with it. And I totally agreed with him. Also, thank you guys for accommodating me. I also cleared my schedule because I realized how important this was. This is, I think, the most important thing you can do for yourself is to invest in your personal development. And I think that when we work on ourselves, we actually do a favor to the rest of the world, to others around us, because we just become more productive. We become a more positive force. So timeline therapy, and then of course anchoring. And anchoring was just so much fun. I mean, just being able to have some button where you can press yourself, and start feeling positive. Like you can be standing anywhere and about to, maybe give a speech or take a class or do a training or do some homework or submit a presentation, anything. And you just press an anchor on yourself, or maybe you have a sticky note where you're anchored with that color and it brings positive feelings inside you. It sounds like magic, right? But it works, and it's just language. It's just linguistic tools. uh, it's amazing what we can do with our imagination. Of course, after that, there were the submodalities, and I was really fortunate to practice that on a colleague in the breakout room. And I really want to be one of those people who empower others. I think that is the definition of a teacher, someone who takes joy in empowering others. So to help others overcome their limiting beliefs with the snap of a finger, just by being able to visualize powerfully, that made me feel really fulfilled.
In the master's program and throughout the NLP journey, what was your, if I have to say, your 3 breakthrough moments? I know you've shared a lot, but if I have to ask you which day, which intervention, which one thing, or maybe 3 things that change how you see the world now, and what's the hope for the future? What's the way for the future for Mehar?
That's such a significant question, Ali. First of all, cause and effect. The second breakthrough was the timeline therapy. And the third breakthrough, I believe, was values elicitation. I think all three of these were very significant in their own right. All of the interventions, all of the technology, all of the tools, they are important. They have all helped me on my journey. Reframing has helped me so much. Meta Model 3 has helped me so much. I do this regularly now. If I'm faced with a challenge, I just reframe it in my mind. I write it down. Okay, what was good about it? What did I learn from it? To focus on the learnings. I think reframing, in fact, yes, reframing it helped me a lot a lot. So these four, I think, really have begun to create this transition. I mean, the transition began last year, and the results are also before you. I mean, becoming a world champion in public speaking, it's marvelous. And I can continue to see the progress. And this is progress that I'm making on a trauma that occurred, more than a decade ago, between 10 to 20 years ago. But it's like decades into days. It's amazing that I'm feeling like the person that I wanted to become. I'm regaining control over myself, over my emotions, over my thoughts, and yeah. So coming back to the breakthroughs, yeah, cause and effect. First of all, the basis of any intervention, to believe first of all that you are empowered, that you are in control, and this is supported by, I'm Muslim, so I subscribe to the Islamic philosophy. This is supported by what the Holy Quran says, that when something good happens to you, it is from me. When some challenge befalls you, it's from your own selves.
What would you advise to other people who are unsure regarding NLP, who want to be a part of NLP, yet they are unsure? What would you say to them? And how do you think would this benefit for anyone? Do you think it's for everyone? Do you think NLP is for everyone? Or do you think for selected few? What are your thoughts regarding?
Okay, Ali, NLP is definitely for anyone. That's a no-brainer. Being a teacher, I look forward to incorporating NLP with my teaching, and hopefully I do aspire to be a teacher trainer. So I would love to make this part of the curriculum where we teach teachers how to talk to children, how to create rapport, how to notice the sensory acuity, and how to prep them and pre-frame them for learning, and also how to understand the learning process, and how to understand how to give pastoral care for their emotional well-being, because that's part of being a teacher. We have to take care of the whole person in order to support their learning, right? So as a teacher, definitely, as a public speaker, definitely, as a businessman, to know how to overcome anxiety, limiting beliefs, inner conflicts. So many of us, I know that we want to break out into entrepreneurship, but we're kind of, we have that anxiety, we have that indecision going on, that is it safer to have a job? Is it going to be too hard to start my own enterprise? To be able to come to a decision, NLP will help you. Supposing you want to go abroad or pursue a master's degree or do immigration or stay in the country and make your fortune right here, make a good lifestyle for yourself here, NLP will help you. To be able to empower yourself and to create empowerment for others, irrespective of the environment, NLP will help you. If there are, communication problems with relationships, and I do believe that as a public speaker, as a Toastmaster, and as an NLP practitioner, that all conflicts can be resolved through communication. I mean, I stand for that. I feel like I would like to symbolize that all conflicts can be resolved through communication. Where communication comes in, NLP can help you. So anywhere, if you want to be able to talk to your parents, to your children, to your colleagues, to your neighbors, to your friends, it's all about linguistics, right? And linguistics is related to communication, right? And it's all about thinking as well, because as in the Holy Quran, they say that in Surah Rahman, it's mentioned that God gave us the faculty of articulate speech, bayan. So what does that link? Where does that lead us? It leads us to the fact that language is connected to concepts. So thinking is connected to language skills. So if you're working on both of them, you're naturally going to be a more empowered person. You're going to be having those persuasive skills. You're going to be having those positive thinking skills. You're going to be having the power of setting goals for yourself in a smart way. You're going to be able to reach your own vision, and you're also going to be able to be a positive influence for the people around you, whether you're putting on your coaching hat or whether you're just being a friend or a family member.
Thank you, Mehar. Thank you, Mehar, for beautifully explaining, or in fact narrating how NLP is for everyone. Any last words, any last message for anyone who will watch this testimonial, any last learning that you would want to give?
Well, I'd like to say that I can already feel the difference. I can feel the manifestations coming in. I just wasn't aware of them before. It has just taken my awareness to a new level. Now I'm seeing the positivity. Now I'm seeing where I'm deleting incidents where good things have happened. Where now I'm seeing where generalizations are occurring, where distortions are occurring. Just knowing the way I think, knowing the way I filter information, that has made me more aware as a consumer of information as well, which is very important in this day and age, in the information technology age, where media is a very, very powerful tool. So to be a more informed citizen as well, to be a more informed global citizen, it's really important to understand the way we think, the way we talk, the way we communicate. So please, I would encourage all of you to pursue a neurolinguistic practice, just to be able to understand yourselves. Know yourself, as Socrates said.